was a clean sailor, and I did a good job, and I behaved myself, and I had good grades. Yeah, that's what they call a GCT and the ARI, and that needs to be a 120 to get in the academy, and I was 134. So I got nominated for Officers Candidate School, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to be a black shoe in the Navy. And I come back and told them, I said, no, I'm not going to take that. I was getting close to my enlistment. And I said, I'm not going to do that. If I go to flight training, I'll do it. They said, well, you can't go to flight training because you're not qualified. You got to have 2 years of college. I said, I got 4 years of good conduct, which I'd been advised by personnel. 4 years of good conduct, medal, which qualified me to take a GED. So let me take the GED, so I took a 2-year GED and passed it. So therefore, I had a college part covered. I had my time in service covered, I had my good conduct covered, and then I need to go before a board or have an admiral's signature. Well, I had gotten to know an admiral from a whole other story. I played on the baseball team, and it was a good team, and the admiral used to come to the games. And when they give out awards and I get one, he'd say things to me like, if I ever do anything for you, let me know. I said, you got it. So I called him, and he said, come over to my office Saturday morning. I went to him. He said, have your sneakers on. So, well, what the hell is this?
We're going for a run, son.
So when that's what it was all about. So I got to his office on a Saturday morning. We ran around the park. We talked about everything but the Navy and flying. But when we got back, he said, where's that form? I'll sign it for you, and that was that. And then I waited for assignment to Pensacola. I went to Pensacola to the Air Academy. I was in the program for 2 years. Then I became commissioned and designated. And then I went 4 more years. You were 2 years for each year they gave you in the program. So then I was 4 more years. And I did that. And I got out.
And you got out in 64?
Yeah, I got credit for 12 years.
What year did you get out?
1963.
63.
Yeah.
So that was before shit really popped off.
Before what?
It really popped off in Vietnam.
Yeah, there was nothing happening over there. Nobody ever shot at me in anger. I was certainly designated
You keep saying
to go
that.
there because I was.
Did you ever fly over Laos, Cambodia?
Ever fly what?
Laos, Cambodia?
No, I wasn't overseas. I was a Pacific sailor. I was out of San Diego. I was to Hawaii and South
Were you flying
Pacific.
off carriers or?
Oh yeah. But I was all Pacific.
So what I don't understand, and you can explain to me if I don't understand, and you can explain to me if I'm wrong. The carrier looks like this
Yeah,
as you're coming in.
Yeah.
And the carrier's like this.
yeah.
How do you catch that first cable?
Well, you hope the sea isn't always like that.
'Cause it's just-
But when it is, you may not catch it. And that's called a bolter. When a hook will skip the wires.
It'll bounce or?
Yeah, it skips. And you land right where the cable is not, and it bounces again, skips the next one. They try to rig 3 cables at a time. There's 6 cables on the carrier.
Yeah.
They try to have 3 rigged at all times. However, many times there's only 2 and sometimes only 1 because the others got fouled in use
Yeah.
until they retrieved it, 30.
Somebody
40
hits
aircraft.
heavy and
So
yeah.
if you're in the tail end of the pack, you don't have a lot of wires to catch. So
You
but
got
it's like
you got to
everything
hit the
else.
first one. That's it.
Well, you try to do that, and you try to get it, and you hope you get it. And
If you
it takes a
don't,
lot
you
of
just
luck. Well, if you don't, what happens is you got to go to full power as soon as you touch down, because it takes a little time to spool up with a jet.
yeah.
And then that gives you enough where you float off the angle deck on
Velocity
the other end,
to-
go and come around and
yeah.
do it again.
And then not only did you miss the first time, now you got to do it again, and it's still.
Well, still, yeah, the whole thing, he just didn't land yet. Because they say shit like, now you get it right this time, Shock, because that's where suffers at, So I said,
What was your call sign? Shots?
No, I was whiskey.
Whiskey?
I was
That's where the W comes from.
Yeah, I'm always whiskey.
So
In the
Wesley
academy,
turns
I
into
got the name
whiskey.
and the carry. I became whiskey all the time. I think some of the guys didn't know my real name. I don't think they did.
They don't need to.
They thought I was whiskey.
They don't need to.
Yeah, what the hell.
Your real name is Whiskey.
Yeah.
If you ask those guys, your real name is
Yeah, that's what they
Whiskey.
know me by. So
Yeah,
whiskey. Yeah.
that is your real
At
name.
any rate, that's so when the deck ain't behaving, and sometimes it's pretty vicious, but most of the time it's not, because if it's that kind of vicious sea, and you're not in combat circumstances, they won't learn to launch because they don't want to lose any aircraft.
Yeah.
So then you postpone and launch the next day to do the same operating procedures. But now if you're in combat situation where on a desert, you're going to go regardless.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And another thing they got, fuel is always very critical in the fight jet fighter.
That's where the map comes in.
And that's so, but what they have is they have a gas station right by you. He's in low altitude somewhere around the ship.
It wasn't a KC-10 at the time. What was it?
It was KC-10, but we were...
You had KC-10s?
Yes, we did.
Back in the 60s?
Yeah, we did. We were around then.
Shit.
So,
now that makes me feel bad because I got refueled by KC-10 and...
What were you flying?
I was in
Let's get fuel by.
it was C5 Galaxy.
I don't know what that is.
The big one.
Oh, okay. You got,
The one you can fit 2 tanks inside of.
yeah.
The
Oh,
C5
that one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, got you.
The Galaxy.
Yeah, well, if you had, we kept 2 things close to us when bad weather. We had one guy up with fuel, and then we had the Angel with a helicopter to pick you out of the water in case you had to go in the water. And so they always hung around the ship somewhere. And so
You can't ever find the guys until someone's in the water, and then they just show up.
Well, they're right there. They're airborne, hanging off the rear quarter.
Yeah.
With the Angel.
Yeah.
The chopper. And as soon as you're in the water, they hit you. They got you in a hurry. And
Man overboard.
sometimes they have a guy in the water as quick as you're in
And
the
you
water.
never had to jump.
Only that one time when I was on the main.
Yeah,
That's why.
9,000
But
feet.
never on a ship did I have to.
No. All right.
I only ever got
But
out
you've
of
seen
one-
guys get picked up. You've seen guys get picked up.
Oh yeah. Well, not a lot,
Did you
but
talk shit to
definitely saw
Did
'em.
you talk shit to the pilots?
The worst-
You fucked this up.
The worst situation I was ever in, I was on the right catapult and Wade Thompson was on the left catapult.
Yeah.
And they shot him and he went, and the last I saw him, he fell off the end and we never saw
Like
him
you
again.
just see him go down,
Yeah, he went under the ship.
and you're getting ready to fucking
And I was
go.
on the second cat.
Yeah.
But they immediately canceled because they didn't know why he immediately cut me off.
Yeah.
He kept me right there and then taxied me back to the elevator and put me down in the lower second deck.
Yeah.
But
And you're still in the cockpit, no idea what the
I'm
fuck's
ready to
going
go.
on,
I'm just me there. There ain't no other
Yeah.
seat.
and you just saw a plane just
I
disappear.
just saw Wade go in. Yeah. He was married with 2 kids. He was a redheaded guy. What a shame. Never got any part of him or the airplane. They roll up under the ship and they never got any part of him. No. And they
Because
don't
he
know
got
why-
eaten up by the ship, didn't he?
Well, they don't know why, if he had engine failure, or they don't know why, because if you accidentally jump on the brakes, you get a streak of smoke from the tires dragging, and he didn't have any of that.
He
So,
went and then just.
Yeah, we don't know, it's unknown whether he had a trouble with trying to correct, he thought he could go down and fly off the water and hit the water instead. Nobody knows. They don't want to confirm that. At any rate, that's what happened to Wade. And so that was a little scary. And I had another incident where I had to make a night landing in the lake or else eject over bad water. And I took the landing in the lake. And so survived that just fine. I thought I could land it. I had real confidence that I could handle my airplane. And I knew I could put it in. And so I put it in very carefully and did what I was supposed to.
Tail down and.
Yeah, I flopped it in there and loosely shut the engine down, do it. And the thing was, the lake was up on the end of the runway.
Does it bounce as much as I think it does? It skips, doesn't it?
Yeah, I skipped off of that and it slid up the runway and to the emergency barrier, but that worked out okay. But it was tricky and it was considered a feat, and
You're like, it's Tuesday.
it was kind of different. I was put in that position because another guy had run off the end of the active runway, and when he should have allowed me to land in the first place because I was his wingman, but I was on a partial panel line instrument failure. And he told me to go around, and I said, negative, go around, I'm instrument panel line, I need touchdown. And he said back to me, he says, keep the Pensacola Bridge in sight for horizon. Well, he lost his wings and was thrown out of the United States Navy. That commander was. He was looking out for his own ass. It was in a thunderstorm. It was nasty as hell weather. And then he runs off the end of the fucking runway and hangs me out there. Yeah, they got him. Yeah.
Everybody, when you get to that level, everybody knows how fucked up that is.
Yeah, that's right. And they knew it. He was done.
No, negative.
I came
no.
out of it just fine because they hauled me into the ready room and stuff like that, and all I wanted to do was get my hands on him. And I was saying, where's that son of a bitch at that hung me out there?
Listen
I ain't
to the
done with
fucking
him.
tape.
He said, "You're done with him." They wouldn't let me near him because they knew I'd kill the son of a bitch.
Hands around it. You still want to. You're
Yeah.
you're still mad about that. Do you know where he
He
lives?
tried to kill me, that son of a bitch, and I didn't. But at any rate, they threw him out of the Navy and took his wings away from him and stuff. He was discharged. He didn't get anything out of that. He made a bad decision. He paid for it. But I still want to. Yes.
Is he still alive? You want to go find him?
I never even knew him a day later. I didn't want nothing to do with him. I stayed the hell away from him. Because I knew I'd get in trouble if I got face to face with him.
Not at the moment. You didn't care.
Yeah. No, well, I just want to get the hell out of there because we're going to character quals, and I did my character qualification, went home, and he wasn't qualified to. He was also going to do character quals because he's senior. I was his wingman, and then he hung me out there like that, and then they didn't let him go to the ship, didn't do nothing, and let him back into the airplane again.
Because at that point, everybody knows how fucked up what he did
Everybody
was.
knew the tower. Everybody
Yeah.
knew what happened in the conversation.
Just
They
listen
heard
to
my
the tape.
conversation.
Yeah.
And they heard him tell me to use the Pensacola Bridge as a horizon. A goddamn thunderstorm was nighttime. And shit. Well, everybody heard that. I mean, he hung himself. Goddamn. Whatever.
You're still mad.
He's going, I don't know what the hell.
Was that 60 years ago? Still mad.
Well, that was, yeah. That was more than 60 years ago. That was 70 years ago. But at any rate, I better get, I really, my hearing aid guy, I thought by now I'd hear from him on the phone, but I didn't. I got to honor him too.